All right, welcome everybody back to to Dreamwalker. Let me get a little bit of ambiance so that we're not sitting here in dead silence. Let's get some fireplace going. All right, so some things have changed over the week or so that we've been off. The Yes, welcome welcome Serpent Cat. You're new around here, but thank you for the follow and thank you for showing up. Some things have shifted around, and in the week or so that we've been off, Letty had a schedule change involved with her new workplace, and so was not able to get weekends off anymore, or the specific day that we do these sessions, and any attempt at changing the day was an absolute nightmare, as we attempted that last week when we missed one. So Letty has opted to just sort of bow out, as she did not want to interrupt the campaign itself, and cause a massive scheduling issue. But that's Letty's decision. So that leaves us at a bit of a crossroads where we can decide what we want to do next. That's why this stream is called Chatting With and not Session 3, because I'm not really sure what we're going to do at this exact moment, but that's why we're here to talk about it. And I figured I would stream it since we were already going to show up at 8 anyway. And, well, you might as well have the context chat so that you understand what's going on, rather than us just all of a sudden showing up with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, her character's going in the hyperbolic time chamber so that she can train up, come back later, much stronger.
I love that idea.
So essentially what we need to do is we need to figure out what we want to do going forward. I'm going to leave it up to you guys since there's 3 of you and 1 of me. I'll give my input on what I think works best usually, but I want you guys to be involved in the process too. Just because it's primarily your campaign. There's 3 of you and there's 1 of me. So the way that this usually happens, because this has happened before. These things happen all the time. People get busy and they just can't do D&D, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
D&D should come last in comparison to real life things. It's just a fun hobby, so it happens. But when it does happen, there's a couple things that we can sort of decide to do. We can try and write an in-universe reason as to why Letty's character has disappeared. I tried to talk with Letty a little bit about it, but again, Letty's on opposite time zones to us, so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get Letty's input at this time, as to what exactly Letty would want us to do with the character. But I do want to talk to her in the future, just to get that straightened out. So we can try to write an in-universe canon reason why Letty's character disappears. I guess that's one option. That can be anything from a character death that's sort of scripted to Letty's character getting also kidnapped by the thing that you're trying to fight, and then now it's a quest to save Letty, but as an NPC as well, and maybe things like that. Using the character as an NPC, but I would do that only if Letty was okay with that.
She woke
Um,
up.
just woke up out of the dream and decided not to go back in. That is an option. Yeah, that is an option.
Maybe somebody out of the dream, maybe like a police came by and be like, "Hey, you're the thief, aren't you?" And they arrest her.
Yeah, they came by the house and they made Asteria wake Letty up, or Yuri, yeah, Letty's character Yuri up so that they could arrest her. I mean that would work, but again, if we're gonna make that canon, I would want Letty's input. Um,
Right.
but I want you guys to throw out ideas too. There was one that I would want to do, which is Letty's character gets kind of corrupted, and
Ooh.
if Letty's okay with it, then make Letty's character into a boss later. that
Ooh,
you guys would fight to perhaps maybe free her from what's going on. Um,
that would be cool.
for reference, for those who
Yeah.
don't know, Letty's character Yuri, Yuri Smoothbrain is a thief in her background, so it would make sense for her to get arrested, um, as the party rogue. So that would be one option. If you guys were okay with it, and if I talked to Letty and she was cool with that, then that would be something fun to do. Some sort of shadowy thing grabs Yuri, and then you have to fight Yuri later. I think
Oh
that could be
yeah,
kind of interesting.
that'd be so
Um,
scary.
and then the easiest, but the one that doesn't necessarily feel the best for the story itself, is to just retcon that there's always been three of you, and to just kind of move on and not worry about it at all. So if Letty like never got back to me for some reason, then that would be an easy option to take. But it's the one that doesn't feel too good for the story because there's the whole 2 sessions of all that happening. We'd have to kind of work out some of the the problems with that of like okay, hang on, who stole that health potion? Did you guys just always have that? Things like that we'd have to kind of work out. But it is an option to just kind of retcon that quickly. So I don't know what you guys feel would be best, but I want your input on it.
I like the idea of her turning becoming corrupted. I think that would be
Yeah.
a fun callback.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was gonna agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
I like
that
the
kind of
idea.
lets me do a fun thing later where I turn a player character and give them some kind of different abilities to base a character off of, base a boss off of her character and kind of make that a whole thing. Could be fun.
yeah,
I like doing that. That's usually my preferred method of things like that. But yeah, so I'll talk to Letty a little bit. So regardless, Yuri's gonna disappear kind of right away. But as for what we want to do after that, that's another thing we need to figure out. So the first part is what happens to Yuri, which again we'll try and get Letty's input on it if we can. If not, then we'll decide ourselves. But if the second half of that is Yuri's character disappears, then what do we do? Which is, do we want another fourth player, or do we want to just continue with three? As it's perfectly reasonable to play a D&D campaign with three. Usually you don't really want two. That kind of makes things a little weird. But 3 people is perfectly fine to balance for. So it would be an option to just continue with 3. But to extend the other options would be, if you guys had someone that you knew who was interested in playing D&D and wanted to join a partially started campaign and was available at the same day and time, that could be an option as well. If you had someone that you wanted to invite, that could be our 4th member. You don't have to decide anything now, so don't feel like you do. But just that is an option if you guys had someone that you knew that would be interested and could make the time commitment. That would be good. And then, of course, there's me hunting for somebody as well. But that'll probably take way longer.
I wouldn't mind asking around. I think it would be a cool opportunity to meet. I guess to expand the group a little bit.
Yeah,
I can't make any promises, but I can ask.
yeah, I figured it might be worth trying. And then if it doesn't work out, then we can decide on something else. But it could be worth trying. Just make sure that they have the time commitment and that they can make it on this day and time. This day and time is perfect for me. It seems to work for you guys too. So if we can avoid having to shift it, that'd probably be great. So yeah, we'll try and find somebody. If you guys have people that you want to reach out to, feel free. But again, nothing needs to be decided right now, so there's no pressure. Then I guess the third thing to figure out is what you want to do right now. we're all here. So we could do like a shorter session today since we're all here and we kind of sat down and want to play D&D rather than just like us chatting for a little bit and then walking away. We could do like a shorter session with just the three of you, and just kind of have fun moving the story slightly forward, and maybe not doing like a ton of progression, but just kind of a few little things here and there, and then just kind of wrapping at like an hour or so.
Yeah, I don't mind because we left off
You
at
had
a point
just, yeah, you
where
had
we
just beaten the butterflies, and then you were moving back to progress through the woods towards the burrow. So that could be. We could progress a little bit from there if you guys wanted to, just as a party of three. And then if you got into a fight, if you managed to get yourselves into a fight, I could just rebalance it quickly for three people if we wanted, or if we've already gone for a while, then maybe we could just call it right at the start of the fight or something like that. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how we feel. Rather than just not having a session at all tonight after we're all here and ready to play, I figured it might be fun to just do a little short casual thing with just three of us.
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't mind.
All right. Well, as long as that sounds good to you guys, then I'm down to do it. So I think regardless, we're gonna have Yuri disappear. Because that'll explain it either way. If Yuri woke up suddenly because Yuri was getting arrested, then she would disappear. But if Yuri was getting taken by something, then she would also disappear. So I think regardless, the best way to do it is to just have Yuri kind of disappear. Maybe a slight retcon as you guys are looking around. At the end of the battle, you suddenly realize, wait, where's Yuri? And maybe whatever. If we go the Yuri got kidnapped option, then that would be something taking advantage of the fact that you guys were distracted, things like that.
Okay, yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. So we will, or I guess, what was it, react slightly to her disappearance, but it just
And
won't
then
be
just
explained to our characters.
yeah, move on.
Okay.
We'll acknowledge and then we'll move on, just so that we don't have to dwell on it right now. We won't explain anything. We won't hard choose which path it is right now. We'll just kind of have Yuri disappear, and then if we decide to do the whole retcon option, then we can just ignore those 5 seconds of us going, "What happened to Yuri?" And we'll just ignore it and move on, like we're doing with the rest of the other 2 sessions. So
It's a figment of our imagination.
yeah, exactly. Because we're gonna have to forget about stuff anyways if we're taking the retcon thing. So a couple other minutes of forgetting doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that sounds good to me as well. So we'll take that option, and we'll have a little session today. Probably not as long as a full one. We'll just kind of feel it out and find a decent place to end. So I'm going to actually change the stream title and all that, and I'm gonna make another tweet. So just give me 1 second, because I wasn't sure if we were gonna have a session or if you guys just wanted to call it a night at the end of this. So I'm gonna make another tweet that acknowledges actually what we're doing for real, and I'm gonna change the stream title. So 1 moment, I will be right back. So if anyone needs to do anything, if you need to grab a snack, grab a drink, or go to the bathroom, do it right now, and we'll be right back. Okay. So,
Yes.
alrighty. Bringing us back into it. Are we missing anybody? Alright.
Here.
Seems like everybody's
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
Alrighty. Then we'll do a small little recap to get us back into things. And then we'll continue. So, first things first. Here's your recap. The party have entered the dreams with the aid of a dream druid, Asteria, in order to attempt to excise a demonic presence within the dreams of Elizabeth Winchester, an innocent young girl. And so, after entering the dreamscape, they arrived in a fairy tale-esque town called Elwindel, as you can see here. And almost immediately upon arriving, they found that the town was being attacked by shades, small nightmare creatures that were a nuisance to the townsfolk and had been attacking them for some time. And after fighting them off, they met a few of the townsfolk, including the general store owner Mittens and some of the patrons at the tavern, and soon learned that if they wanted to find their way deeper into the dream to find whatever is haunting Elizabeth, that they would need to find someone who knows more about what's going on. And so they talked to the Queen of Elwindel, Queen Not, who told them that there had been someone who was skulking about and asking questions about things like that, and that it was a young girl named Suri. But that Suri was down in the prisons as she had been accused of stealing a key that belonged to the Queen and been passed down for quite some time. Suri was the suspect because she had been asking about a door in Wildflower Walk that she believed the key opened. And so the party asked around a little bit more and found that perhaps there was another suspect, a young kleptomaniac who seemed to have sticky fingers, a rabbit folk named Jasper, who the party talked to the town's herbalist a little bit about, and learned that he had indeed been absent recently, that no one had really seen him in a few days, and that he had last been seen heading out into the wandering woods in the direction of Hidden Hill Burrow. So, not wanting to waste any more time, the party set out towards the woods in hopes of finding Jasper and learning more about what had occurred. But immediately upon entering the woods, they found themselves in a swarm of butterflies that had electrical powers and proceeded to zap them thoroughly, but they managed to come out on top and defeat the electric morphos. And where we return, the party had noticed that as the battle settled down and the woods were quiet once more, that one of their party members was missing. Disappeared in the chaotic fray of the fight. So I believe you guys were gathering up your things. Duja, you were getting javelins and things like that, and picking up stuff that you had lost. I think I think you had grabbed maybe some of the butterfly wing. I think you were
Yes,
harvesting that.
I did.
All right. Yeah. So as you kind of finish up, you you notice that suddenly one of your companions is gone, though you're not really able to source where exactly they went. As you finish looting the wings, I suppose it's strange to say loot, but I guess that counts. Looting the wings from one of the butterflies. It still does have that kind of bluish sheen even after the butterfly itself is dead.
I guess Dusha frantically looks around and she's like, "Oh, Yuri, where did she go? She
You
was just right here."
scan the forest, looking in between the tree trunks, but you don't actually manage to see her. Wherever she has gone, she has thoroughly disappeared.
This
Wait,
dreamscape is weird.
Yuri's missing?
She joins the rest of them. Yeah, I don't see her anywhere around here.
She was just right here.
Yuri.
You call out, but you only hear your voice echoing out in the forest to answer you. Nothing else.
Maybe it has something to do with the dream, or maybe something happened in the outside world.
It's not improbable. My, rabbit senses don't pick her up anywhere.
Yeah, you listen intently, and you don't hear any noises other than the occasional bird chirping or crickets in the distance.
I guess Deja will use her trunk to sniff a bit too,
Yeah,
and
you would recognize her scent at least.
yeah, she'll conclude that Yuri's not anywhere nearby.
Yeah,
So
you sniff around, and you sort of get this sense that using your nose, that if Yuri had just sort of walked off in a direction, you would have been able to follow it. Instead, you can smell where Yuri was last standing, but other than that, completely gone. There's no trail at all.
interesting. Well, I guess Deja looks at everyone else and thinks, well, is there anything else we can do about that? Should we just continue on? Sounds
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
have any
heartless, but
answers.
I don't think we have much choice, heartless or no.
all right. Well, that's that.
Very well. You resolve yourselves that there may be other opportunities to search for Yuri, but at the moment there are more pressing matters, and so you press on into the forest. Last time you had followed a trail. I believe you had found Duja, with the combined efforts of the three of you. You'd found a small little thread hanging from one of the branches.
Oh, yes.
Sort of a blue piece of yarn. And you were following that scent. And so that scent continues to lead you to the northwest as you wind your way in between trees through the forest. So just give me a second to copy copy the baby. Thank you, Clover.
Sorry.
So roll
Doing
20.
a little dancey dance.
Well, it's perfectly fine because I can still click and drag and all that. But what Roll20 does, it has this glitch that's really funny. Basically, if you're moving while I'm clicking and dragging, and right when I let go, if you're in motion, right when I let go to highlight all three of you, it just slingshots your character portrait somewhere. And so often what that does is it slingshots you right off the screen, and you just vanish all of a sudden.
Oh,
And so
no.
sometimes when I'm trying to copy all of the party and they're like all moving together, someone will just randomly blip out of existence. And
It's like,
if that does happen, remember that you can always drag yourself back onto the screen in your journal tab. I'll try to do it, but if it happens and I don't notice, you can do it yourself. So,
okay.
to copy the three of you, you proceed further into the forest as the vegetation begins to kind of thicken around you, and it's a little bit harder to navigate. But you can see kind of in the distance, far away, sort of not mountains, but rockier formations beginning to form as you travel.
Okay. I guess.
The trail
kinda
continues to
wanna-
lead northwest, but continue.
I want to like inspect over here. I don't know. Something's telling me to look over here.
Yeah, these roots are looking kind of.
Sus.
Yeah. I don't know if this is regular roots, or
See,
roots,
this is actually this is like game design, because when video game designers want you to look at something, they just put a big light on it. And that was just me adding some extra lighting, and so you immediately went and looked at the thing that was lit. That's really funny.
I'm like, oh, quest here.
It's a big quest marker, yeah. The tree suddenly talks to you and gives you a side quest. You guys kind of examine one of the trees. The trees here are rather large, with these rather gnarled and thick roots that just kind of almost form hills that you have to wind your way around as you travel through the woods. But as the three of you guys are actually kind of focusing here on this suspicious looking tree, make a perception check, Nightshade. I think you would probably pick it up, so you can make this check.
Okay.
Actually, you can have advantage on it since Duja's nose might pick it up too. So roll with advantage on perception.
It's been a week. I don't remember where to find it.
So the big long bar in the center of your character sheet has all your skills. It's alphabetical, so just go down to P.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And then you can shift click or just click it twice to roll with advantage.
Oh, whoops. I didn't roll with advantage. Hang on.
Just rolling it twice is the same thing. We just take the higher one. But you
Okay.
probably don't need a higher one since you just nat 20'd.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so Nightshade, you immediately spin around as you hear a twig crack from behind you. And so whatever is creeping up on you does not surprise you, as two figures actually jump out from around the tree, one on either side of it.
Oh.
Who is there?
So the others, you see Nightshade just spin around suddenly. And as you turn to face, you see these figures who were kind of sneaking up on you. They're hunched over, kind of caught in the motion. They were trying to get a little bit closer, but Nightshade, you kind of caught them halfway. They're kind of hunched over and attempting to sneak up on you.
State your purpose here.
You see kind of
handsome will be handsomes.
a raccoon and a very small mouse. Both of them are shorter than all of you. They're kind of diminutive. They appear to be children, both of them.
Oh, how big is the mouse?
The mouse is very, very small, like sort of
Aw.
knee height for Clover and Nightshade.
My
So even
goodness.
smaller for you, Duja.
Maybe Dusha probably just looks completely over the mouse and looks straight at the raccoon.
But as you guys kind of spin around to face them, you see them kind of startled, not expecting you guys to notice them. And they just kind of freeze for a moment, like deer in the headlights. And then the small little mouse in sort of a high-pitched voice, you can see that he's got a mask that he's wearing, and he's clutching a small little wooden sword. And he kind of points the sword at you, and then just goes, "Stand and deliver!"
Dusha looks around. Who said that?
It's this guy.
He kind of
I
he kind of hops and waves one of his paws at you. "Oi, oi! Stand and deliver!" And he waves the little sword again.
Oh, are you just the cutest little thing?
No, not cute, no cute. And then the raccoon just kind of arms folded. "This is a robbery, you know. Give us your gold."
Mm.
Oh, how cute. You're trying to rob us.
Yeah, so, you know, like, give us your gold.
Dusha laughs. She gives a hearty laugh. I don't know if you can rob somebody who can step on you.
I might be small, but I'm mighty quick.
What are you gonna
Better
do?
watch out for my
guy?
sword. He's kind of swinging the sword wildly.
What What are you gonna do? Crawl in my boots?
Yeah, I might.
mm, let's see.
He's so feisty for a small one.
Usually the small ones are the feistiest, I guess.
That's true.
I guess Dusha kneels over to the little mouse boy and says, "What's your name, little guy?"
He's smacking his little sword kind of against your shin. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just a little plank of wood. You kind of very viciously smacking against you. My name's Leaf, Terror of the Wandering Woods.
Leave. Aww. Dusha gives him a little pat on his head with her trunk.
I think we're gonna get along just fine, since my name is Clover.
We're not getting along. We're robbing you.
That's sweet.
Oh, don't be silly. Now, what is your name, a raccoon person?
Bruno? Bruno seems to be maybe slightly older, and is kind of not really sure what to do next. And so he just kind of folds his arms and just kind of stares warily at you. You're not gonna give us a gold, are you?
Ha ha! No, of course not.
I've given it considerable thought, and I agree. No.
Not even one?
What do you need it for? Don't you guys have you guys don't have parents to take care of you? You guys seem pretty young.
No?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh. Oh.
Let's see.
Well, I could spare gold.
Me too. But don't go spending it on silly things.
Leaf is still just kind of poking you with the little sword. Yeah, that's right. Give us a gold.
That tickles.
Yeah, that basically is all it does.
Okay, I guess Dusha will spare one as well. She feels a little bit bad asking the parent question.
All right. You kind of hand a gold piece. He has to kind of almost like clutch it like a frisbee.
Oh,
It's rather large for him. And it kind of throws him off balance a little bit. He stumbles a little bit. Yeah, that's right.
No, I just want to put you in my bosom and let you just walk around with me, my little pet.
I'm no one's pet. We're the terrors of the wandering woods.
Well, that's quite nice and all, but you might want to work on the terror part. It's not really working for you very well.
What you mean? We got your gold, didn't we?
Yes, but not for the reasons you think we did. You did.
It was a pity donation, and that's what it was.
Yeah. This is not a we're scared of you gold. This is a aw, you're cute and you need money because we feel bad for you gold.
He just kind of cocks his head at you. You're saying we should change our strategy?
Exactly.
If you're going to rob,
what
please do so more efficiently.
If you want to scam, maybe get some bandages, wrap yourself up, hang out near town. Might make a living off of that. Maybe near the palace.
You see him kind of start to consider it. He's kind of rubbing the fur on his chin. Yeah, I could use this mask as a bandage, and I could use the sword as a crutch.
Oh, look at you, entrepreneur.
As the two of them kind of get a little bit closer together, and they're kind of now huddling, and you see them kind of mumble to each other, plotting a new scheme. Yeah, and we could post out front of the general store, and anyone who's going in, they got money. And they're just kind of muttering to themselves back and forth, almost kind of forgetting that you're even here.
Let's see. Duja towers over in front of them. Not to interrupt, but we're looking for a rabbit named Jasper. Have you seen him around?
They pause for a moment, turn back towards you. Yeah, we seen Jasper. What was it like? About a couple days ago, maybe?
Would you say a week ago?
Yeah, maybe. I wasn't really counting.
Oh. Well, we heard
Where-
that he's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, where did you last see him?
Slipping through the woods like he always does.
Any
Oh.
general direction?
Northwest, maybe?
Northwest.
Sort of looked like he was heading towards, the burrow, didn't it, Bruno? Yeah, but we don't go near that place.
Did he
What
seem
is-
to be in a hurry at all?
Maybe. Eyes darting back and forth, but Jazz was always in a hurry.
And what was this place called that he was heading towards?
Well, Hidden Hill Burrow.
The burrow.
Yeah, we don't go near it. Not anymore.
Well,
Something's
why is
off.
that?
Something's off about that place.
And what do you mean? Like spooky? Or is there monsters there?
Well, we used to just hear that it was, some old tunnels. And, well, all the adults told us don't go playing near there because, well, what if the tunnel caved in and we got trapped in there, But lately, there's something weird about it. It's not right.
Have you seen any of the shades hanging around there?
Not really shades. No, there's a weird smell. Hangs in the air around the cave entrance. So we don't really go around there anymore. We mostly just stay in the woods.
How would you describe the smell?
Not good, I guess. I don't know.
Is it earthy? Or do you think like fleshy?
Maybe.
A bit of both. I don't know.
Interesting. I'll have to give it a smell. Okay. Doja just walks away and starts looking around.
Very well. The
Hmm.
two are kind of just still clutching the small amount of money that you gave them. Quite closely.
Try using that for food.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. They're just kind of like awkwardly standing there, just like, now what do we do? Usually we we steal and then we run away.
You could follow us if you want. We'll try to protect you as best as we can.
You lot going near the burrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
not
we're on
going. We're not going there. No way.
We're on a secret important mission right now.
A secret important mission
Yes.
Super secret.
Super important.
in the
We're like
burrow.
spies. We're like super spies.
What's a spy?
Yeah.
Spy is someone who is super sneaky and
I'm sneaky.
you are. You almost scared me back there. I didn't even know you were behind me.
Yeah.
And yeah, and spies, they are super strong.
They're strong.
Mm-hmm.
Strong and sneaky.
Strong and sneaky. Mm-hmm. You're pretty strong too, with that sword you got there.
Yeah. He swings it around.
Yes, just like that. Yeah, you could totally join us if you want. Bruno?
But you're going to the burrow?
You don't have to go to the burrow. You could just walk with us there. You could
Yeah, but you're going near the burrow.
Yeah, but we could protect you. Look, we're a lot
but
bigger than you guys.
we're really busy. So maybe the next secret mission.
Okay,
But
I'll hold you
just,
to it.
we'd love to come, and we'd probably help you out a whole bunch. But we're just really busy at the moment. So we'll catch you on the next secret mission. Yeah.
I'll try to find you.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. By then, our schedule should have freed up a little bit.
Okay.
Well, scurry on safely back to town, okay? And don't
Yeah,
cause
of
too much
course.
mischief.
No promises.
Get you a good meal and a good rest.
All right. They begin to scurry their way off towards sort of the southeast of the forest. Unless you have anything else to say to them, they make their way off, disappearing behind a clump of tree trunks.
So cute.
All right. I guess, shall we continue to press forward towards the burrows? I'm hoping that the caves didn't close in on Jasper. That would be unfortunate. We
That would
came
be a
all
big
this
bad.
way.
That would be big
Yes.
bad.
The smell worries me.
Oh, didn't even think about that.
So the three of you begin to make your way off towards the northwest, continuing along your path and following the scent trail that Duja had picked up. And eventually you're kind of making your way towards those larger rock formations that you're beginning to see kind of sprout out from the forest floor. And soon you actually see out in front of you, sort of embedded into the side of one of the larger rock formations, a large cave entrance.
Do we smell the smell?
Yeah, you're
Really
still sort of following the trail. Again, it's pretty faint, but you're still able to follow it as you make your way northwest. But as you kind of walk up kind of a few little hills and then wind your way in between some more craggy areas, you actually kind of find, Duja, that the scent of the bit of fabric that you found actually gets to be taken over by something a lot stronger the closer you get to the cave entrance.
Smelling smelly.
I smell a smelly smell that smells
I was going to say that.
belly.
And so as you guys kind of hike your way up a bit of a slope towards the entrance of this cave, Duja, the smell that's kind of blocking you from being able to track the trail that you were following, it certainly leads right up to the cave, but as you get right up to the cave entrance, there's just this sort of very pungent, almost noxious smell that you're getting, kind of acidic almost, Duja.
Ugh.
She puts her trunk down like her shirt to try and cover up the smell.
He's like
Oh my-
tie a knot in it like it's a cartoon.
Can I do so? Since I'm like a druid, and like I'm more attuned with like nature. Do I have like anything that can like help with like any like leaves or anything that can help with like the smell? Like we hold it to our nose or whatever. Like
Yeah, make a nature check for me.
oh, which one?
Nature.
Nature. Okay.
I
don't.
Brutal. So I would say you Clover, you think about things that could help, like maybe crushing up mint or something like that, and then placing kind of the sap of it as you kind of grind it up, and then placing that under your nose to maybe help with the smell. But as you kind of look around, you're not actually able to find anything that would help.
Gotcha. I like try to
certainly
pick up,
nothing
like, the
strong
grass.
enough.
I pick up the grass around me like, oh no, it doesn't work. Oh god.
Yeah, you could certainly attempt it with grass, but it might not be strong enough to overpower something like this.
Yeah.
Thank you for at least attempting.
I appreciate
It's fine. I have like dirt on my nose. I'm like, I'm sorry.
it.
So, the tunnel before you kind of yawns out into darkness. Do any of you have dark vision? I forget.
Mm.
I don't have your character sheets open right now,
Oh, let's
but
see.
I'll open them.
Also, I'm sorry if you guys hear background noises.
Little bits and pieces here and there.
I'm sorry.
Kind of
My
people in the
husband has
background.
friends. Yeah, he has friends over and they're playing a game.
It's all
And
good.
they're
It's all
very
good.
loud.
It's not incredibly disruptive, so it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's in the senses on the left hand side. Yeah, none of you do.
Okay.
So, the cave yawns off into darkness as you all suddenly realize that none of you are able to see in the dark. So perhaps
Man.
some sort of light source might be warranted.
I feel like we mentioned this before, being able to see in the dark. I'm gonna look at the inventory.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to figure out now, since D&D tends to have a few dark places, tombs and catacombs and caves. So, well, dungeons. So it's good to figure out who's holding the torch.
I have a torch in my backpack.
And a tinderbox as well, so you
Yes.
can very easily light it. Very well. So you can kind of click on the torch if you want to read exactly what it gives you. It gives you 20 foot of bright and 20 feet of dim. But for the most part, I don't like to be super picky about lighting. So you light a torch, and that'll enable kind of, as long as you guys stay pretty close together, I'll let you guys see.
I also have a torch too.
Yeah, so if you wanted to split up, you'd be able to split up with multiple torches.
Perfect.
They last for quite a while, so you don't really need to worry about them. But something that you should think about with torches is if you're going to sneak up on something, like if you want to start to be stealthy all of a sudden, torches will definitely impede that in the dark. So you'll need to think about when you want to put it out, if you want to put it out. But really, for the most part, unless you're actively telling me you're putting it out, I'll assume you still have it. Also, consider that it is taking up one of your hands. So whoever is holding the torch is doing whatever they're doing one-handed.
Gotcha.
So considering who you want to hold it, you might want someone to hold it who is typically doing things one-handed already. So those are all things to consider. When you have like Duja using heavy weapons and stuff like that, and needs to use both hands on the axe, and Clover, if you're using your staff, you'd probably want both hands. So it might fall to Nightshade to be the torch holder.
This sounds like a job for Nightshade. Give me that torch.
Since you only need one hand for your magic.
Us magic users don't need both hands.
You can always give a swipe with a torch at an enemy that gets too close, if you really wanted to.
Okay, I can give you one of my torches. So would I just click on it and then decrease the quantity to 9 or by 1?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm not crazy picky about them. You got 10 of them, and you're probably not gonna run out. So I'm not incredibly picky. If you want to track them, go ahead. But I'm not gonna do it for you. So I'm gonna give you a quick little glimpse of what that looks like. That's the radius. Oh, hang on one second. I forgot to enable it for you guys to see. That's the radius.
Oh,
that's pretty big.
That's the radius of the torch. It's pretty big, but that's really distracting, so I don't like to put it on screen all the time. So again, it's 20 and 20. So 20 bright and 20 dim. But I don't like to put it on screen all the time, so we'll get rid of it, and you can just imagine that you can basically see.
Understood. Let's see. Well, are you guys ready to hop in there?
yeah. Let's get going.
Do this.
Okay. Aduja takes a deep breath. Or actually, no, not really. It stinks out here too, huh? She kind of runs down here real quick. Takes a deep breath of fresh air for the last time and runs back. Let's go.
Run all the way down the hill, and then run all the way back up.
All you hear is the thud thud thud.
Very well. Then, with your surroundings flickering in orange torchlight as you make your way deeper into a dark cave. Let me get some better ambiance. So,
Oh.
you make your way down a tunnel that's kind of overgrown with roots and vines and moss. And soon find yourselves kind of exiting that tunnel and into a larger cavern that is just as overgrown as the tunnel. You can see kind of tree roots from the forest kind of barging their way into the cave through the dirt. Some in the center, some hanging down from the ceiling, some pushing in through the walls. As you enter Hidden Hill Burrow.
Interesting. Maybe we should have asked those kids if they knew why these tunnels were built. Unless it's naturally occurring, now that I think about it.
Can I inspect these flowers?
Yeah, you can make a nature check.
Okay.
I don't think there's any reason that anybody else would have any knowledge of them. So I'll let you, the druid, to make the check. 14.
Okay.
Okay, with a 14, you're not able to get the name of them or exactly what they are. But you kind of have like something sticking in the back of your head. And you kind of estimate these flowers, they're not full grown. And actually, these flowers are a little bit strange, as they don't actually require sunlight to grow.
These are interesting. Usually, I find different ones back at home, but they're always going towards the sun. These are actually growing and thriving in the dark. They're not even fully grown yet. It's weird.
Wow, they're pretty big for not being fully grown. Can I give them a sniff? Do they stink?
You can sniff them if you want.
Okay, Duja does a little bit of sniff, puts her trunk right in the center.
They are not the source of the smell.
Okay, can I pick one and put it in my pocket?
Yeah. As you kind of pick it, you notice that the petals themselves are actually a little bit stiff. They're not kind of the soft petals that you'd usually imagine. Again, this is sort of like just budding flower. It's not full grown at all, but they're almost kind of like as stiff as cardboard.
Ah, interesting. These are they're pretty stiff for some flowers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, feel the petals. They feel kind of like cardboard. Almost.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if there's cardboard in this universe, but I was trying to
Yeah,
give
I thought about that as I was
I
saying it.
I know. It was my fault for using that. I sometimes use comparisons to real world things just to paint a better image in your mind as to what the kind of stiffness would be. But
They feel like soft wood.
yeah, it's sort of like you can bend them, but they feel stiff themselves, the petals, which is a little bit odd, unlike kind of any flower you'd seen before, Duja.
Very strange.
But in the torchlight, in the flicker of the orange flame, you can see that the cavern that you're currently in sort of stretches off into two tunnels, one leading kind of north and the other a little bit further west. And so you have a choice of the path you want to take.
Well, we have a diverging path, guys.
Is the smell... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Is the smell going in both directions? Can I sniff to figure out what?
Yeah, so you smell kind of the air looking for that trail you were following, but now that you're inside the cave, that sort of noxious smell is permeating everything,
Ooh.
and you're actually not
No.
able to find the trail at all,
Oh.
in comparison to this overpowering scent. So
What
you
about following the stinky smell? Is there like a direction that it goes stronger in? Or
it permeates the whole air, but you can kind of, as you maybe walk a little bit closer towards each path, it does actually get stronger in both directions.
oh, okay. Well, I don't think I can figure out which way I'm gonna go, following either the thread smell or this this fume. Both of it. Well, the thread smell is gone completely, but the fumes go in both directions. What are you guys feeling? I guess it's really just maybe luck which direction we go into.
Well, we definitely should stick together. I don't think it's a good idea to split up.
I agree.
But which way do we go? Do we have like a coin or something we could flip?
I don't.
Let's see. We should go. I like put my finger in the air.
I mean, you can always slash roll 1d2 in the chat. that'll flip a coin for you. You just have to decide which is
This
which.
is true. Yeah. So one could be left, two can be right.
Sounds good.
This isn't the
Good.
first time that a party has decided something by flipping a coin.
wait.
Just so you know, it's definitely happened before. So one is left, and oh well, I guess that's left.
Okay.
All
Left
right.
it is then.
We have all heading.
Now you
I like
flip
it
a
'cause
gold
the-
piece.
The path seems wider here, so I can fit through. The other side seems to be getting fit.
Well, that works in our favor then.
All right. Then you choose the tunnel that leads off kind of to the west and begin to make your way along it. As you kind of wind your way through this tunnel, sort of dirt and rock make up the walls, interspersed with these roots that grow out through it, and the leaves, moss, and vines that grow across the roots. And occasionally you see kind of smaller insects crawl their way out of your the range of your torchlight as you make your way along the tunnel. But soon, after walking for only about 5 minutes, you find yourselves exiting the tunnel into another larger cavern.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, those are big.
Whoa. Can I
Wowie,
put one of
wow.
these in my pocket?
So Duja, before you go jumping off a cliff,
oh, that's a
Oh.
cliff.
as you make your way out into this larger cavern, in the torchlight that Nightshade is giving off, you can see that you now stand on this sort of raised section. It's about maybe 15-ish feet up
Ah.
from a lower kind of trench down in there. But growing up out of that lower sort of bog is these massive. At first they looked like trees, but then you notice that they're actually the stems of giant flowers. And Clover, you recognize them to be full-grown versions of those smaller flowers you saw earlier.
Yeah, this is how big they get, guys.
They certainly
Oh,
look a lot.
Dang.
Goodness.
They certainly look a lot sturdier now that they're full-grown.
I guess when they first entered, Duja got really excited, and she kind of stops in her tracks when she reaches the edge.
Yeah, you reach the edge of this sort of cliff and you kind of gaze down it with Nightshade's torchlight illuminating some of it. And you can see that at the very bottom, down on this kind of lower section where these stems were growing up out of, you kind of see this swampy sludge that kind
Oh.
of bubbles and pops and kind of hanging in the air right along the surface of that sludge as it kind of churns its way along. You can see this sort of green mist that permeates the environment.
Ugh.
It
So,
is a
from
poison swamp.
from looking at what I'm seeing,
And
I
so
suggest
Duja,
we don't touch the green.
the noxious smell is incredibly strong now. It's almost making your eyes water. And you can tell that it is definitely coming from this kind of swampy gas.
Oh man, her trunk is tucked deep inside her shirt, trying to cover up the smell. Well, I don't know if I want to go down there, but I think this is where the smell's coming from. But it seems like we have to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So you said that the sunflower itself is sturdy, right?
Well, the ones that you kind of picked before that Duja was kind of examining, they were sturdy, but these ones look way bigger and way sturdier. Their petals are kind of really thick, almost like as thick as a big chunk of wood.
Awesome. I want to try to jump
Oh,
on this one right in front of me.
Very well.
I have a rope. Maybe we can try and bring it closer.
Yes. Just in case anything happens, y'all could just yeet.
Yeah, we can paddle our way on the petals. We could use the
Very well.
flower as like a boat.
For reference, because this probably comes up several times throughout campaigns. Whenever you guys are kind of like half on a square, so for example, this square here, it's kind of cut in half by the ledge here, right? So I would be perfectly fine with you standing here because you don't actually take up 5 feet completely wide, right?
Yeah.
So you would be perfectly fine standing on that square. I would not count that as you jumping off or falling off. Similarly, this square counts as well, as long as there's kind of more than half of the square. But I would say that this one would be kind of making your way off the cliff, and so that's kind of how I usually handle it. As long as there's about half or more of land, then you're still standing on that land. So those squares are always fair game for moving around.
Okay.
Perfect.
Since not everything's going to be equal to the grid, but I don't want to just turn the grid off because it helps you move around.
Yeah.
I guess should I use my rope and try and lasso the flower closer to us?
Oh, I was gonna say you could put the rope on me, and if anything happens, you could just yeet me out of there.
Oh, yeah, we can use that too.
Both
All
sound
right.
like options, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that one.
I was gonna
We're
ask.
super spies.
I was gonna ask, Duja, have you ever lassoed anything? Because that would decide my DC. Have you ever done that before? I was gonna say probably not.
Yeah, it's probably not, but
Okay, so you're
maybe
deciding to
casually,
do.
but not
You're
true.
deciding to tie it around Clover then.
Yes.
Very well. So you tie probably a pretty firm knot around Clover, and sort of secure a bit of a harness before Clover attempts anything.
All
And
right.
with a little bit of a tug, you make sure it's secure. And Clover, it's your game now.
Alrighty. So
Please
what
be
would I
careful.
roll? Is that like an athletics?
So typically, a lot of jumping stuff, there's not really rolls. Everybody has jump distances and stuff like that.
Okay.
And if it goes beyond that, then sometimes DMs will have you do it. This would probably be within your jump distance.
Okay. Whee!
It's definitely within Nightshade's jump distance. But you
I
kind
like-
of take a bit maybe of a running start. And then,
right.
so actually D&D does have like running start rules too. If you get a running start at it, you actually get a little bit more distance.
Oh.
But I'm not super critical about jump rules either. As long as I feel like it's reasonable, then as long as it's not more than like 20 or so feet, then you're usually pretty good.
I jump on the flower and I kind of like wobble a little bit. and like
Yeah, so actually, as you land, the stem itself kind of wobbles, but the flower is pretty solid. So you're kind of standing on a platform, but the stem beneath you, this kind of branch almost that you're on, it kind of wobbles and kind of lurches back and forth before it slowly settles back into place as you kind of regain your balance, Clover.
I give 2 thumbs up to everybody. Yay!
Yay!
Nightshade gives
Um,
them back.
So I kind of want to start making my way down to the base of this flower. Well, tree? Branch?
They're sort of tree flowers. The stem of the flower is so big that it is like a tree trunk and branch.
Nice. Yeah, I'd like to make my way to like the middle part base, I guess.
Yeah, so you
Very
could kind of
carefully.
climb between the branches. You could hop to another one of the flowers. It's really up to you. The only thing to keep in mind is that Duja has about probably 50 feet of rope, and she's currently still attached to you.
Yeah.
So again, you're now kind of still about 15-ish feet above the swamp as you climb kind of center into the branches. So you're sort of up in the branches of this giant flower now.
Mm-hmm. Can I roll like a perception check to see what I can see?
Yes, you will have to roll a perception check because you're getting farther away from Nightshade's light.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez. My rolls are
I would
terrible
say
today.
vaguely you can kind of see a platform, like kind of another stone cliff in that direction, but you're not able to see as far as that one.
Gotcha.
You can't see if there's anything here, anything lurking ahead, but you can see that at the very least there are several other flowers in this tree you're in,
Mm-hmm.
and that maybe there's something vaguely stone-shaped over there.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I think there's like another thing over there that we could jump on, but I'm gonna make my way back to you guys. Or actually, I'm gonna stay right here. Jump.
Okay.
There you go.
So Nightshade, you have no issue with this. With your powerful Limsa legs, you just kind of kick off and you land gracefully at the center of this flower.
And then I'm gonna wait my turn right here and then I tell Nightshade, I want you to try to jump on the other flower, the other big one to your left.
Can do.
That one?
Perfect. No, the big one.
This one.
Yeah.
Am I able to do that without any issue?
As a Limsa? Yes. As a Limsa.
Whee! Boop.
Perfect. Do you see anything?
I have the light, so. am
So
I able
now,
to see?
now Clover, you're able to see it as well, because
Okay.
Nightshade's light is
Perfect.
now casting this entire kind of area here in bright light.
Perfect. Yeah, that thing. We could go up there.
So you can see that there's sort of
Good job.
another little cliff top off in that direction.
Oh. Duja looks very terrified to jump. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not much of a jumper, so okay. She wanders around a little bit and then I should jump no problem as well, right?
With the running start, you should have no trouble making the distance.
Okay. How do
I don't
I
like how you said that.
do a running start?
There's no rules that change Loxodon's jumps.
Okay.
Though they do weigh a lot more than the average race.
Well, she goes for it. She looks terrified, but
Oh.
You can do it!
yeah.
So you make a flying leap and you land on the flower. But in comparison to how kind of it began to kind of sway for Clover, it sways a lot more for you, Duja. It kind of, you feel your stomach lurch forward and backward as the whole thing rocks. Clover, even some of the branches that you're on kind of rock a little bit as this begins to kind of, the whole flower begins to sway.
Dusha
You did
blushes
it.
a little bit. She looks a little embarrassed.
Duja, can you make an acrobatics check for me?
Yeah. Acrobatics. Let's go.
Right at the top. Oof. So
Oh.
as you land with your feet planted on the flower and the whole thing sways forward, you actually feel yourself kind of begin to fall forward, and you kind of tumble head first over the side of here, and now you're kind of just grabbing onto part of the branch and holding yourself up with your legs
Oh.
dangling.
Oh no, oh no. Wait, so I'm on. Wait, I have to move myself. For
You're
a
on
second.
sort of
I'm on this right here,
this
hanging
branch
on
right
to the
here.
branch.
Yeah, so you landed on the flower and then fell forward, but you were able to grab the branch. You did not want it, so you didn't fall completely off.
No.
You grabbed a branch on your way down, so you're a lot lower than everybody else now. But you didn't fall all the way into the swamp.
Duja.
Oh no. Can I use my trunk to kind of crawl back onto the flower?
I'd say it can help. It can't lift a lot of weight, but it can help you navigate a little bit.
Okay. Can I like squirm my way back to safe land up here?
Very well. I'll have you make a just athletics to
Okay.
see how successfully you do that. All right. Much better. So you kind of began to fall off, but now you kind of muster up some strength, and using your trunk, you kind of maneuver a little bit and begin to pull yourself up. Again, some of these branches are maybe a little bit flimsier, so you kind of grab a couple of the ones that are a little bit bigger and begin to pull yourself towards Clover, now kind of hanging on to a higher, thicker branch.
Ah,
Nice.
nice. Okay.
So, Duja, my
Oh.
idea, because I don't want you to try to keep jumping on flowers. There's a big one in front of us right here. And judging by where it's at, I'm hoping we can make that jump to the platform.
Just to remind you, if you click and hold, it'll ping what you're trying to tell people about.
Oh,
Just
gotcha.
if you want to direct people to, like, oh, this flower, you can ping it for all of us. There you go, perfect.
Right there. That one.
Okay.
So, let me see if I can make it. Let me see. How far is that? Oh,
It's a bit of a far jump for you, Clover.
yeah.
It would probably require some sort of check to make successfully.
Oof. Okay.
Nightshade's kind of making her way along sort of a southern path that's bringing her a lot closer, but that jump is a little bit further away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be easier if you came over this way. Or maybe if I got over there first, I could try to reach for you. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we could probably do that. I could probably throw you my rope
Yeah.
that's on me.
Nightshade's gonna jump to this flower here. And then over here.
Yeah, you hop between the flowers and land your feet back on solid ground again. Kind of standing up tall over this.
Very
this swamp.
gracefully.
Okay, I'm over on the other side.
Okay. I see you. I take the rope and I try to throw it to you.
All right. It's something that you could repeatedly attempt, but because there's something down there, I would. I'll make you make a roll. Otherwise, I wouldn't. If it was just like rocks down there, then you'd just be doing it over and over again. But because there's something actually down there that the rope might land in, I'll make you make a roll. It'll be a decently low DC just because it's not that far of a distance. But I'll make you make a sleight of hand. Either of you can make it. Whoever has the higher one. It'll either be an accurate throw or a good catch. So Nightshade or Clover, you guys get to decide between the two of you who's making the roll.
Mine is +2.
Mine is +3 for sleight of hand.
Okay, so you do it then.
Okay. I'm doing it.
Yes.
All right. So Clover, you throw the rope, and Nightshade, you make a very good catch.
Got it.
Yay. Okay, great. So I guess I would still. Do I just jump?
I'll have the rope, even if my noodle arms.
I will
Can't
say from
bear
where you're standing, Clover, just to describe it a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
You're standing kind of up on a higher-ish flower. There are some branches that maybe get a little bit closer, but they are flimsier than the flower. So it's a bit of a pro and con.
Yeah. I'm gonna stand right here.
All right.
I go for it.
Very well.
Whee.
Make an acrobatics for me.
Okay.
Your DC will be a little bit lower because it's not too far.
Oh no.
All right. So Nightshade, Clover leaps towards you and sort of hits the side of the cliff here.
Oh
And
no,
so
Clover!
she's kind of now dangling off the side with her arms up on top, but the rest of her kind of hanging off this little cliff face here. So Nightshade, you can actually make an athletics roll to pull her back and stabilize her if you want.
Curse
Okay.
these hooves.
Curse my noodle arms! Come on, don't fail me!
Yes.
No noodle arms today. You're feeling really buff.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So yeah,
Yes, thank
as
you.
Clover kind of hits the side of the cliff and begins to fall, she kind of reaches one of her arms up just to grab at something, and you just grab onto that hand and pull. And it kind of lurches her a little bit up forward, and now she's able to kind of scrabble up a little bit better.
A bright blush just goes over my face, just seeing how strong she was. I was like, oh.
No noodle arms today.
Well, thank you.
Of course. But now we need to get Duja.
Now the two of you stand in the torchlight up on top of this cliff as Duja kind of sits still in the branch at the center of the tree.
Let's see, I'll have to make the jump from this flower.
You could, or you could try to take the path that Nightshade took.
I think I might try and do that. And Dusha's very scared. And she kind of scoots her way over here.
Mhm.
It balances herself, and then it makes the jump. And I don't have to do the acrobatics, or should I do the acrobatics?
I'll say I'm gonna have you make one more, but I'm going to lower the DC because you're getting used to navigating the tree, so it'll be easier this time. The more you make these jumps, the easier I'll make the roll every time. Until a certain point, I'll just have you stop making them, just for time's sake.
Should I roll it now?
Yeah. So roll one more, and it'll kind of get easier and easier as you get more used to it.
Okay, 12. We take those.
Yeah, a 12 is sufficient.
Ooh. All right.
So this time you leap across, and like for Clover and the others, it does sway, but this time you're ready for it, and you kind of balance yourself. You counterbalance in the opposite direction, and you kind of ride it like a surfboard instead of falling off.
Ooh. Okay, one more.
You got this. I believe in you.
One more, and the check is getting even easier.
You can do it.
So it was actually an 8 that time. That was very close.
Okay.
Nice.
As it gets more and more easy. This time you maybe stumble slightly, but you manage to keep your balance and not go tumbling off. And so now you just have kind of a short hop to the cliff. So no roll for this one.
Got a little too confident there. Boop.
You made it.
She sprawls out on the ground, her gigantic body, and is just breathing very heavily.
I pat her head. You did it. I'm so proud of you.
Okay. She dusts herself off. Let's continue on, shall we, ladies?
Yes.
So-
Onward.
So now you, all three of you, stand on solid ground once more, and as you kind of look around in the torchlight, in Nightshade's torchlight, you can actually sort of see that there is another cliff off to the north that you could continue to jump across to, but there's also, very obviously, to the west, another tunnel to follow.
Duja looks at the other cliff and then pretends that she does not see it.
I do not see.
Do not perceive.
It does not exist.
I place my d20 on a 1 for that perception roll.
Onward.
It's a nat 0.
All right, so Duji, you begin to kind of make your way, kind of urging the others towards this this side tunnel.
And I look behind me and I see it. I'm like, what about that over there?
I think that's just our eyes playing tricks on us. You can't trust the fumes in here.
Yeah, these fumes, man. My goodness.
It's a trick of the light.
No, the torch seems like that stuff really does exist.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean, we can always investigate later. I see.
Yeah, later. Yeah. She winks. Later.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue for a few minutes down along this other kind of a little more narrow, winding tunnel, and eventually,
The winding road.
arrive at yet another cavern.
Oh.
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 This one too is raised up above on a kind of a cliff ledge as you enter it, and this one is not sort of muddled up by all these flowers growing throughout it. This is just sort of a larger open trench that you can see, and this rock face kind of descends down a little bit, sort of a couple little ledges that lead down into this swampy lower area. And there's a significant amount of it that blocks off access to another sort of raised up area that you can see just at the edges of the torchlight. If you want to see a little bit further than that, then you can make a perception roll. Whoever can do it. Advantage since there's all three of you.
You said perception?
Yeah, just whoever has the highest can do it.
Oh, I have +2.
Yeah, I think you can roll. Ooh.
Sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
there
realize.
you go.
I will take that.
Ooh, good job.
So I was gonna say you just see something, but Clover, you squint hard and you see exactly what's over there. On this sort of raised up edge that's kind of out of both the swamp and that green swirling mist, you can see on the very far side of this cavern, on the ledge, both the glint of metal, which as you look a little bit harder with a 22, you determine to be a chest, as well as what you believe to be a skeleton.
So, guys, I have some good news and some bad news.
Okay, let's have the bad news first.
There's a dead body over there.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the good news, there's a chest over there.
Oh,
Oh.
treasure.
Mm-hmm. Also,
But
another
wait.
bad news, there's this big old thing in the middle that's keeping us from going.
Yeah, I was about to say, how do we get over there?
I don't think I could jump that far. I don't think I want to jump that far.
Is it possible I could jump this far?
The entire gap, none of you are capable.
Okay.
You could certainly get a bit of a head start on it if you wanted to leap off into the swamp. But no one's going to clear the entire thing.
Well, I guess it's swamp or nothing.
Let's see. Would I be able to, since I can use my trunk as a snorkel, could I like, if it, well, the swamp is poisonous? Are we able to go inside it? Am I able to like just use it as a
It's
snorkel and walk through?
it's giving you kind of a very noxious scent. You don't know for certain that it's poisonous, but it's giving you this kind of very unpleasant, acrid kind of smell that makes your eyes water.
Wish I had goggles.
But if you want to attempt that, I could say that that's reasonable to use your trunk like a snorkel.
Okay. Deidre looks at them and she's like, "You know, I'm the biggest. I think I can handle this. Is this like steps I can step down, or is it more just like she has to
They're not formed steps, but there's kind of along the cliff. There's some other kind of ledges that lead down. It's not just a straight 15-foot drop. It is sort of a couple 5-foot drops down into the swamp.
She raises her trunk straight up, straightens her back, and slowly makes her way down. She dips, or she takes off her shoes first. Doesn't want to get them dirty, and she dips her foot in, just so slightly. Is there like any effect on her?
You don't feel any different other than just sort of very slimy. There's a bit of a squelch as you stick your foot in, and then you kind of sinks down a little bit.
All right, she puts her whole foot in, her ankle, her shin, and just
You do the hokey pokey.
yeah, like when you're at the pool for the first time and you're trying to see how cold the water is.
So
Uh,
the two of you from up here, you see Duja kind of sink down to her knees. So you estimate maybe it'd be about waist height for the two of you.
oh, only to the knees. That's good. All right, so she's trudging along, holding her breath a little bit, uh, gasping for air when she needs it.
Yeah, we'll say you're not really able to see too well because you're heading sort of into a dark, kind of shrouded part of the room. That's a bit out
Right.
of Nightshade's torchlight, as well as the fact that you're also like constantly looking up to keep your trunk up there.
Can you guys let me know if I'm going in the right direction?
Yeah, I'll step down a little bit too.
Da-da.
This looks like I can get down to about right here.
Yeah, about there. Now the where you're standing, Nightshade, the mist is kind of swirling around your knees, and it kind of hangs kind of heavy in the air, so it doesn't actually get much higher than that. But for Duja, it's kind of all around your head. If you weren't holding your trunk up there, you would be well within it.
Oh, disgusting. If you ignore the spell, it's kind of like a mud bath.
Nice.
All right.
So
I
you
like the positivity.
trudge your way kind of slowly through this mire, and eventually reach this sort of hill, rocky-ish hill that leads up to about Nightshade's height out of the swamp.
Is she able to, or is this part that height?
That part there, when you get to that part, like I was saying, where Nightshade's standing, you're about at her level, and so that the mist is kind of almost at knee-ish height, so it's a lot lower. You would no longer need to use your trunk if you were standing up there.
Okay.
Basically, if you see this kind of mist effect, you're well within it. If you're not in the mist, then you're good to go.
Over here. And yeah, I can just climb up over here.
Yeah, it's a slope, not a cliff, so you can just kind of pull yourself
Okay.
up a little bit. It's a little bit muddy, so you kind of have to scrabble up there, but it's not difficult. You can just kind of get up there.
Yeah. She looks at her feet immediately and wiggles her toesies and takes a look at the skeleton.
Yeah, so it's a little bit dim over here, but with your eyes kind of adjusting as you leave the torchlight, you can see kind of the glimmer of the chest and the bones that lie here. The skeleton's kind of lying down, just kind of on its side. Clearly been here for a while. You can make a medicine check if you want to learn more about the skeleton.
I think I might.
I'd let
Let's
the
see.
others also try, but they're a little too far away, so it's on you.
All right, +0. We'll see where that takes me.
It's always worth a shot, right?
Oh. Oh, yes, it is.
So with a 19, you estimate this is not a human skeleton. You're not exactly sure what animal it would be, but it is definitely sort of one of the humanoid animals that you've seen within the town.
She pats she pats the skull with her trunk like petting a dog, and then it just goes straight for the chest.
I would say also with a 19, you notice that there's no sort of obvious wound. There's no like broken ribs or anything. There's no shattered part of the skull. Nothing like that.
Interesting.
But you make your way over to this kind of wooden chest that's kind of girded by these iron bars along it. But you actually notice it doesn't really even have a lock on it.
Oh, can I open it and I guess kind of guesstimate how much stuff is in there?
Yeah, you creak it open. It's not locked, so it's a little bit maybe old because it kind of takes a second to creak open. But as you open it up, you find maybe 3 things of note. The first is that there's a small bottle in the bottom of the chest, a glass vial filled with some sort of murky liquid and stoppered by a cork. The other thing is that kind of scattered along the bottom of the chest are a bunch of gold pieces. And the third thing that kind of glints as you take some of the stuff out and kind of hold it up into the torchlight is sitting on top of those gold pieces is a small locket with a necklace, like a chain around it.
Okay. She doesn't bother to open the locket just yet, but she'll put the skeleton skull in the chest too. Figured might as well try and take some of it back over to where it came from.
Very well.
I feel like it would be weird to put the whole skeleton in there, but is she able to carry the chest back across, or should I guess
I'd say
I
with
just
a
do
strength of
something.
15, I would say you'd be able to kind of. You're pretty big. You're pretty strong. You're a barbarian. I'd say that you could probably throw it over one shoulder.
Okay, she does just that, and makes her way back into the sludge.
All right. So still using your trunk as a snorkel, yeah.
Yes.
Very well.
Stinky.
Then you kind of sink yourself back down into the swamp down here, and begin to trudge your way back across. You maybe sink slightly deeper because of the extra weight from the chest. But you begin to trudge your way across, and actually, as you make it part of the way across, Duje, you feel something brush your leg.
He lets out a scream.
Are you okay?
There's something touched me, I think.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
As you attempt to take another step, suddenly something bursts up out of the swamp, and the others, you kind of hear the splash, and you kind of see it through the mist as something bursts out towards you, Duja.
Oh my god. It has no eyeball.
Oh.
The elongated form of this eel lurches up out of the swamp, and fangs bared, attempts to take a bite out of you as it lunges towards you.
Oh no.
Nightshade, is she able to see this from her distance?
Yes. All three of you can see it.
Okay.
But it did roll a higher stealth than Duja's passive perception. So it is going to get an extra attack against her. Right at the top, but the rest of you can all roll initiative.
Do I roll it too?
Yeah, all three of you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is. I was like, where is it? There we go. Found it.
Oh wait, here it is. I guess it's okay. Well, you know, it worked out.
Alrighty. Oh, hang on one sec. I gotta shift this around because I'm working with the old group. Alrighty. Let's actually take a quick little break. Are you guys good to keep going? Do you want to do the combat encounter now? We could always come back again next week and do the encounter.
I'm good to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll keep going for a bit. All right. So let's take a little break though before we do the combat encounter.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be right back in 2 minutes while I adjust a few things. So run to the bathroom, grab a snack, grab something to drink, and we will be right back in just a couple minutes. So BRB. Welcome back, everybody. DMS making a counter on fire. No, the enemy type was already ready. I just needed to shift it over from the 4-person party to the 3-person just to make it easier. I forgot to shift this one, but the random enemies are already ready. The Nightmare Eel. Grape flavored? I mean, maybe. Yeah, I plan everything. I plan for randomness, so that there can be randomly occurring things. So I always do more than necessary, so that I can have random things occur. Yeah, of course. I mean, who do you think went and put it all into Roll20? Chibi, it's gonna get worse, you know, right? They're going into a nightmare. But I needed the break just because I needed to run to the bathroom, and I also needed to shift it over to the 3-person party, and just a slight little adjustment because most creatures for the campaign were made with 4 people in mind, so I just want to make sure that it's at least a little bit fair. So just a minor little adjustment as well. Now they lost one of their DPSs. No. I homebrew everything, Serpent can. I sometimes base them off existing things, but stats are not from a bow, no. Oops, did I sack something? Disregard that. That roll I just made. Yeah, Doozy, you take 55 points of damage.
Yeah, that was a pretty scary number.
I just accidentally clicked the auto roller on 5d100 damage. Okay, 329 damage.
Holy. Oh no.
Alrighty, so once everybody's back, we'll get started. I don't know who we're missing.
I'm back.
Alrighty. Are we? I wasn't paying attention. I don't know who said I'm back. Was it Kat or was it Lola?
It was me,
Oh,
Kat.
okay. Alright, so we're still missing Lola, maybe? Seems like it. Yeah, the bow is a good one. The what? Yeah. It's a good boss. Everybody loves the wall of flesh. No, it was good, Chibi. I like the big skeleton in Terraria that just destroys you if you walk too close to a certain thing. I mean, for obvious reasons, I like the giant skeleton. Chibi, actually, I am too. Giant skeleton gets everybody. Ah man, the kinds of fun things you can do in games where you just get to go respawn. You can't really do that in D&D because there's typically not really a respawn mechanic unless you rig the whole campaign to be like that. So you can't just throw something fun like that in just for kicks. Could you imagine if the players could respawn, all the fun I could have? Yeah, but there's got to be stakes, so we have to have them die if they die in the dream. Nobody wants to watch them replay stuff. Is Lowell still going?
I suppose so.
Oh, he's just taking care of something. There was the one time when she needed to walk the dog or whatever, so could be that. That's alright. The ever tempting chest on the far side of the room trap.
We know what's inside.
Could have been worse. It could have been a mimic chest.
I would have been so sad. Especially if this monster attacked me on the way back.
Yeah, a mimic and the eel. Mimics have to be used very sparingly so that they don't expect them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually used a mimic on stream yet. But we'll use one eventually when it really counts. When it'll really get the party. That's when we'll use one.
Sorry, I'm still making my food. I forgot
It's
to
all
tell you
good.
guys that I haven't eaten, so I'm in the process of making my food real quick.
It's all good. You still taking care of that? I can't take that as a yes. I'll take that as muted and when to go do it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. All good, all good. We'll hang on for a sec then. We're not really in a rush tonight. We're just kind of having a casual night. Yeah, we'll give Silver Song 1 eventually, don't worry. But there's all sorts of types of mimics that we could be using, right? Because we can do the carpet mimic that tries to smother you when you walk over it. There's the classic chest, which I gotta say I'm fond of the classic chest. I also am fond of the trope of making mimics like really strong enemies for no reason. Like it's not just enough that the chest attacks you. They also make mimics like really strong in a lot of games. Like the classic Dragon Quest, they're always really strong in Dragon Quest. The Dark Souls ones are great. Dark Souls ones are classic because they eat you straight up in an actual animation, like a grab animation.
I love the Dragon Quest ones.
The Dragon Quest ones are like still like kind of cute. The Dark Souls ones are just
Yeah.
pure cursed. I love their tall bodies.
I actually have like a little coin bank of the Dragon Quest one, and when you put it in a coin into the little slot, its eyes glow, and it's so cute.
That's awesome. Yeah, Chibi, you're right. The very first chest in Dark Souls 3 being a mimic, that was so funny.
Oh, the amount of people who must have had such a hard time with that. Oh
Because
no.
everybody just goes, oh yeah, like the first chest wouldn't be a mimic. Everybody's
They
trained
knew.
everybody's trained because we all know the way to check for them in Dark Souls, and they haven't changed the method to check. But they they did make it the very first one just because everybody goes, well, there's no one, the first chest won't be a mimic. Like they gotta lull you into a sense of security first, and then you'll get a mimic later. But I like in Dark Souls 1, the first mimic you come across is like Sen's Fortress, which is like how many hours into the game, and then just the very first chest you find just eats you whole. Because at that point you don't have enough health to survive the bite either. It's just like it just eats you completely. It's great. I love like the drop kicks and stuff that they do. Those mimics are great. True, yeah. Because the dragon is the classic Dark Souls thing to do. Every single game from FromSoft has a big dragon that swoops you with fire at some point. And so you're like, oh, very funny, FromSoft. Here's the dragon. And then you're focusing on that trope that they do every single time. And instead you get got by the mimic, which is great. I love that stuff. I'm kind of sad that there weren't any true mimics in Elden Ring. They did a different thing, which is equally as funny, but I wish they had both. Just screw it, put mimics into it. I like them. I like mimics. The the fan art that people have done of like other types of mimics is always really funny. Some people were doing them for like Dark Souls and stuff, and for D&D as well. There's like people were brainstorming ladder mimics. So you like climb halfway up the ladder and it tries to eat you. Um, the one for Dark Souls, the bonfire mimic, is really funny. That was brutal. You just like sit down at your checkpoint and it just something erupts from the ground. They kind of did that in Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, I guess. But that wasn't like a true mimic. That was just doing jump scares at bonfires for no reason. Which was funny. Gachapon mimic? Yeah, that'd be good. It's like a normal gachapon, but if you get like a certain roll on it, then it just the whole thing turns into a mimic and you can't roll anymore. You had an idea of a campaign of monster races put into a labyrinth full of oozes and mimics, and at the center of the labyrinth is a coliseum where they're given their freedom. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that Dark Souls put like a tried and true method of determining mimics. I think that that's a pretty good way of doing it. It feels fair. Feels like you're not just getting tricked. As long as you are diligent enough to check every chest. I thought it was funny that they made it so that you could destroy the contents of chests in Dark Souls 2. That was a very good prank to play on the players. I thought that was really funny. Because you don't need to hit the chest to determine if they're mimics. You just look at the chain. The chain is a U. The treasure's in view. The chain is straight. That's bait. That's how you remember. You'll never forget. Yeah, Digi using your trunk as a snorkel was very good RP. Hang on. I always forget to do this, so we have to do it. Good RP. I'm always in the middle of stuff, so I always forget. It always looks like...
Thank you.
It always looks like that number's way too low. It's like, wait, you've been streaming for like 2 years. It's only at 34? It's because everybody forgets that it exists and we don't use it. So we need to try to remember more. Why'd you have to make a jump? Because I thought it would be funny, Chibi.
I tried to imagine it the entire time in my head. It was just an elephant in a giant flower.
Oh, nice, Chibi. You only got 1 poison damage from exclamation mark cheese. It's pretty good. Still protected. Somebody's watching over you. So we're still waiting on Lola, yeah? Believe so. Take that as confirmation. I just check from time to time just in case. I'd hate for someone to be like sitting here but not wanting to like interrupt me as I ramble. So from time to time I like to check. But yeah. You forgot about the monster and then you look up and see it again. Yeah. Here, I can zoom in a little closer, Chibi, if you want. There. Is that better?
I hate how you can see inside the mouth from its cheeks.
It's a nightmare eel. It's gotta look nightmarish. Oh yeah, that dude. Sauron's mouthpiece. That guy. I know who you're talking about. I like that dude. Kind of fucked up that Aragorn just like chopped his head off like that. That was. He wasn't even a combatant. Yeah, just close enough to human. Yeah, you're right. There's no toothbrushes in the poison swamps, and there's no toothbrushes in Mordor either. They don't need them. I had to put a poison swamp in the game because I've been playing too much Elden Ring, and they put a poison swamp in every game. Elden Ring's really funny because they're like every game you're always like, well, did they put a poison swamp in this one? Like probably, but then they blindside you with like like 4 or 5 different poison swamps in Elden Ring. You just keep finding more of them. It's like, oh cool, yeah, Swamp of Aeonia. Okay, yeah, good, very funny. Scarlet Rot Swamp. We put another one in, and then you just keep going through the game. Yeah, there's so many swamps. Like even Demon Souls has one. They all have one. The one in Demon Souls is underrated for how terrible it is. A lot of people talk about Blighttown and how bad Blighttown is, but they forget about the Valley of Defilement from Demon Souls. That one sucks. In comparison, things like the Lake of Rot and the Swamp of Aeonia. Swamp of Aeonia is nothing in comparison. Swamp of Aeonia is easy because you just ride Torrent the whole time. It doesn't even take any damage. Lake of Rot a little bit worse because you can't use Torrent, but it's nothing in comparison to how bad the Valley of Defilement is. Just like terrible frame rate plus infinite mosquitoes plus 100 enemies that just come out of nowhere. It's bad. with the big what, GB? The big shrimps? The lobsters? You're talking about the lobsters? Because there's like a half swamp. It's kind of, it's not the poison swamp, but it's Liurnia of the Lakes is sort of still a swamp. It's just not poisonous. It's just normal water, but it's got big. Honestly, there's lobsters in a lot of places in Elden Ring. They pop out of the ground in Liurnia a lot. There's a bunch of lobsters in almost like every area of the game. Either that or crabs. If there's no lobsters, then there's crabs. There's giant crabs all the way up in Altus. There's lobsters in the sewers of Lanedale. All the way at the bottom. Are we all back?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Perfect.
sorry.
Okay.
Welcome back. What'd you make?
I made corn dogs.
I
Pretty
haven't
good.
had a corn dog in so long. This sounds so good.
Yeah, I
These
haven't had
are
one
like
either.
the veggie ones, so they're all plant based. So
Oh,
That sounds good.
yummy.
they're yummy, and I made crinkle cut fries. I just stuck them
Ooh.
all in my air fryer.
That sounds yummy.
Mm.
All right.
I'm gonna
So
mute while I ate.
yeah, if you need to, it'll eventually roll around to your turn, and you'll need to say something, but you can
Gotcha.
commute for the time being.
Thank
So
you.
Oh, battle music.
Getting real.
So, as the Nightmare Eel erupts out of the swamp and attempts to sink its teeth into your leg, Duja.
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a surprise round, and then we'll roll into the initiative order. Remembering ACs because it's been like 2 weeks. Duja's is a 15, and that was a 17, so that will hit you.
she. Okay.
Well, that was not a great roll. So that will be 3 piercing.
Not looking super hot right now.
So it only manages to kind of get part of your leg as it bites into you, before you pull your leg away. And as it erupts out of the swamp and begins to attack Duja, next to react is Nightshade.
Well, this calls for an Eldritch Blast.
Alrighty. So roll to hit.
What do I do? Okay, roll to hit. That's what I need to do first. Got it. Come on.
If there's a box to click that says like a plus next to it, that's the one you do first. So 17 to hit hits.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry, Duja. Hopefully, come on. Oh, come on. That wasn't strong.
That's not bad. It can certainly be a lot lower than that.
Nightshade casts her Eldritch Blast and is like, "Don't worry, Duja, I'll avenge you."
Alright, you send a bolt of purple light that sort of smashes into the side of the creature. And it kind of reels back and notices you there. It was focusing on Duja, but now it's aware that there's multiple foes. As it lets out a horrific sounding screech. So, is there anything else you're doing, Nightshade?
No, not at the moment.
Very well. Then next in the turn order is the Nightmare Eel again.
Oh no.
As it is now back into the normal turn order. Alright, that was a dirty 20, so not nat. And that'll hit you for another 5 piercing.
For me.
Yes, Duja.
Uh...
As it immediately sinks its fangs back into you.
I have a 7 out of 25 HP. Not looking too hot.
Yeah, Chibi, dirty 20 means that it didn't roll the 20 on the dice. It just got to a 20 with its modifier. So, rolls like that don't crit. So, next in the turn order, as it bites back into Duja, is Clover.
Okay. I was looking at my character thing. I have wild shape. So that means any creature that I've come into contact with.
Yeah, any
Right.
creature that you feel your character would have come in contact. I usually kind of give a little bit of advice. You can suggest things that you think, and I can tell you yes or no. For the most part, in the areas that you've been to, any sort of woodland creature you would have seen. Again, there are limits to it based on the stat block that you're shifting into. We'll have like a CR, which all monsters have CRs, which are challenge ratings. And so you're limited by that, as well as you're also limited at the early levels of Druid by you can't have anything that can swim, and you can't have anything that can fly.
Man. Okay.
So you could turn into a mouse, you could turn into a... there's a lot of different things you could turn into. You could probably find a list of it, too, if you really wanted.
Okay. I wanted to be one of those butterflies, but I can't fly.
Yeah, that would be something that's off limits to you for now.
Yeah. Okay. Then what I'll do, because he's too far away from me, most of my attacks are melee attacks. Except for the ice knife, but I don't want to put Duja in harm. Because that's that will you would have to make a roll for that too.
Yeah, you would have to make a roll for your ice knife.
So what I'll do, I'll just use one of my spells to heal Duja instead.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and
Indeed, Duja does have quite a few wounds at the moment.
yeah. So I did. Was it 3 points?
What did you roll? Yeah, 3 healing.
Okay, perfect.
And don't forget, you guys have leveled up. So it's been 2 weeks, but don't forget that you did level up to 2, so you do have a bunch of other things you can do.
Yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit more stable, I suppose.
A little bit better, yeah.
Duja gives a smile and a thumbs up. She's not good at expressing her gratitude.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just noticed the Balm of the Summer Court.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh, sorry. That's a bonus action, though, right? I can still use that?
Yes. It's a bonus action, and it's
Perfect.
not technically a spell, so it doesn't factor into the whole cantrip level spell thing. You can just do it as a bonus action whenever, no matter what you're doing on your turn, as long as you haven't used up your bonus action.
Heck yeah. I'll go ahead and do that on Duja, too.
Alrighty. So you buff up the healing, saying another small prayer to nature, and do you feel even more of your wounds begin to kind of fade, the pain fade, and the bleeding stop as you are healed for another 5 hit points.
Heck yeah. Nice.
So, is that the end of your
Let
turn?
me mark that real quick.
Yeah, there's a little handy thing for you to keep track of those,
Mhm.
because there's no way I'm
Yes.
ever gonna remember.
No worries.
So-
I like that they have the boxes there.
Yeah, the boxes are super handy, the little check boxes.
Mhm.
So,
But yes, that is my turn.
very well. Then it is now Duja's turn.
I'm going to use my great axe.
Keep in mind you are still holding a chest on your shoulder,
Oh, right. Let's see.
so
this
you
one's
have to
double-handed.
you'll have to drop the chest to use the axe as intended.
Okay. That one is double-handed. So can I take that back? Even though I already rolled.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally fine. I don't really care.
Alright,
Especially
I'll
for kind of newer groups that are at the beginning of their campaign, I'm usually pretty lenient about. As long as we haven't moved on to somebody else's turn, I'm fine with you taking stuff back for the most part.
Okay. I felt a little bad. Alright, I'll use my
It's just a hit roll, who cares? If I
hand axe.
already damaged it and told you that you'd like killed it and stuff, and then we might not take it back, but like it's just for it to hit roll, who cares?
I'll use my hand axe.
Alright.
Okay, 19 to hit.
That hits.
And damage. Well, mighty 3.
3 is still damage. Alright, so you slash at the eel and kind of open up a cut across its side as you kind of swing at it with one hand, still holding the chest in the other.
Okay.
Make sure you also add those extra 5 hit points that Clover gave you.
Oh, I didn't know.
I still see you at 10, but you're at 15.
Sick. All right, cool. And can I run away from this guy?
Yes, you can still move. You're trudging through the swamp, but it's not too deep for you, so I won't make that impede your movement. The only thing that might happen is, of course, attacks of opportunity when running away from enemies.
Oh, let's see.
But that
Okay,
won't stop you from moving. You just might also take a bit of damage. So.
You know what? I'm thinking if I stay here, I'll get hit, probably. And if I move, I can get hit. I'll stay.
Yeah, it's just about balance. It's really up to you whether you want to reposition or not.
Yeah, I think I'm okay here. I'll go ahead and stay.
Very well. Then if that is the end of your turn, then we roll back around to Nightshade.
It's time for another Eldritch Blast.
A classic.
Come on, hit roll.
16 hits.
Okay. And come on, lucky numbers.
Ooh. Nice hit.
Yeah.
So as it's kind of gearing up to bite into Duja again, Nightshade, you hit it with another bolt of purple light and just kind of knock it over onto its side, kind of partially submerging it back into the sludge as it screeches at you. It's now looking kind of a little bit battered and beaten. You can see kind of discoloration bruising along its side. But it is still standing. Is there anything else you're going to do, Nightshade?
See here. Is there anything else I'm able to do? I don't know what, like, where do I find bonus actions and things like that?
So if you have any spells that are bonus actions on your spell list, as you can see, like if we take Eldritch Blast, right?
Yeah.
You see the little 1A?
Yeah.
That's one action. So it would say 1BA if it was a bonus action.
Oh, okay, okay. That makes
Or
more sense.
if it was a reaction, it would say 1R, things like that.
Okay.
So that's for spells, if you're looking for spells that are bonus actions. If you have other things that you can do as bonus actions, they're actually in the actions thing to the left of the spells. And then you scroll down a little bit and there's a whole category for your bonus actions. Right now you only have 2-weapon fighting, but you're holding kind of a torch and your spellcasting focus. So it's not really a 2-weapon thing that you would be wanting to do anyway.
Yeah, then I'm
But
good to end.
that's where they would be. Also, by the way, what did you pick for your Eldritch Invocations? I never checked.
Wait, what?
Did you end up picking any of them?
For what? Oh, no, I completely forgot, if I'm going to be honest.
Because we discussed them last time, and I said you had a while to
Yeah.
pick them. But you can okay, that's fine. You can still switch them up between now and next session.
Okay.
Right now I see you as having Agonizing Blast picked, which is probably a good one that you're gonna probably keep anyway.
Yeah.
So then you have one other choice that you can make.
Okay.
So you probably wanna pick those before next session because they're pretty useful.
Yeah.
They impact a lot of stuff you can do just for free as a warlock. But I'm actually going to add an extra bit of damage to this thing because you hit it with two Eldritch Blasts, so that's an extra 3 for each of those.
Oh,
with your
okay.
agonizing blast, you're
Yeah.
dealing extra damage, right?
Okay.
I don't actually. Let me double check that it's not adding that for you. Let me see. I might actually have already added that for you.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, I'll undo what I just did then. That's actually really good that it was adding it for you. I'm never quite sure what D&D Beyond does for you because they're always updating it to be more useful. No, Serpent Cat. Cantrips count as bonus actions if they're bonus action cantrips. But they all have their own individual thing. That's why D&D Beyond is really useful.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure some DMs play like that though.
Then I think I'm good to end then for now.
Yeah, it was adding those 3 for you because you don't usually have a modifier on Eldritch Blast, but you're giving yourself a modifier. So yeah, that's why you're getting such high rolls on your Eldritch Blast. Because that would have been a 3, right?
Yeah, I think
a 3 and a 7, but this was a 6 and a 10, so that it does help you out a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
That makes sense. I forgot that we'd selected that one for you. I thought you hadn't selected any of them. All right, perfect. So if that's the end of your turn, Nightshade, then we will move on.
Yeah, it's the end.
Perfect. Okay. The Nightmare Eel is going to submerge itself down into the swamp. So Duja, you can make a an opportunity attack as it kind of dives down in, but you'll make it with disadvantage.
Mm. I'll still try.
Still worth a shot. You can shift click your to hit on your hand axe, or just roll it twice.
Okay, let's see. Shift click it for the hit or for damage.
Yeah, for your to hit to see if you smack it before it goes under the water.
Probably not.
Okay, it didn't really work, but then just roll again. We're probably gonna be taking that 7, but roll again. All right. So 7 misses as it quickly disappears under the swamp, and you kind of look around looking for where it might have gone, and then after another flash of motion, it bursts up out of the swamp and kind of lunges toward Nightshade. So this time it's going to bite. You can see it now, Duja, yeah. But it kind of went out under the swamp to get away from you, and then slithered its way towards Nightshade for a bite. That's an 18, which is going to hit you, Nightshade. And that's going to hit you. For 5 piercing.
5 piercing.
Indeed. As it lunges up out of the sludge to sink its fangs into you. But that'll be the end of its turn, which brings us to Clover.
How are you? I'm actually going to hop down and reach Nightshade.
Yeah, climbing up something typically changes your movement, but just hopping down a couple 5 feet things doesn't change your movement. You're all good.
Perfect. And I'm going to do a Cure Wounds on her.
On Nightshade, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
Nightshade, you
then-
are healed for 9.
For my bonus action, I'm going to do bonus. I'm gonna do a healing word to Duja.
Very well.
And then
Duja, you're healed for another 3 hit points.
Oh, thank you guys. I should be good from here.
Yeah, feel free to communicate your health to each other. That's not like I don't care about that kind of metagaming. It's all good.
Okay.
You
I
guys
have
wanna-
18 out of 25 now, so
Like if you guys want to tell each other, "Oh, I don't need healing" or things like that, feel free.
Nightshade does a little blush and says, "Oh, thank you."
gotta make sure my heavy hitters are doing good.
oh,
Because I'm
thank you.
weak.
Another thing that some players like to do, rather than just straight up saying, "Oh, I have 14 hit points" or whatever, 14 out of 17 or whatever. A lot of players like to go, like when they need healing, they say, "Oh, I'm bloodied," or something like that, just to kind of keep it a little bit more vague and not like an exact number. But other groups like to just straight up tell hit point amounts. I don't care about either method. It's up to you guys.
Nice.
Some groups even put the actual health bar on their token. Which you can do that too if you really want to. Okay, so Clover, you heal both your party members, patching up their wounds. And unless there's anything else you want to do, any other movement, then we'll move on.
I give a thumbs up to Duja, and that's my turn.
Very well. The thumbs up passes the initiative right over to you, Duja. You receive a thumbs up, and it's your turn.
Okay, let's see. I am going to use I'll use my hand axe once more. 13 to hit.
13 just barely hits. You're throwing it this time, yeah?
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Just to keep that in mind.
Alright, gonna damage is 6.
All right. Your axe firmly lodges into sort of the back of the eel's head and sticks in there.
Let's see, what else would I do? I'm gonna stay here. I'm not
Very
gonna go
well.
ahead and move.
And that brings us to Nightshade's turn. Nightshade, you've just been bitten by the Nightmare Eel, but your wounds are almost immediately healed by Clover, and now you are ready to strike. What are you going to do?
Let me see here. I think I want to try the poison spray.
Okay.
It just says Constitution 13 for hit.
All right. As this is an eel that lives in poison, it gets advantage on this save. It's not completely immune to it, but it's going to get advantage on it.
Okay.
All right, that was a 19 with its advantage, so that will be a save. This is a spell that does nothing if you save it, right? Yeah. Yes. All right, so it manages to ward off the poison that you spray at it. Clearly quite used to dealing with poison on its own.
Well, whoopsie.
Worth a try.
I don't think I'm able to do anything else. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm just... Nightshade's going to move. Try to... Well, wait, let me see. Where's the danger zone again? Is it next to the...
So most creatures have the 5 foot oh sorry, hang on. Have the 5 foot reach.
Oh, okay.
So as you can see, that's its 5 foot reach, right? So what the danger zone of when you're taking those attacks of opportunity, it's when you're moving outside of that range. Moving within the range is fine. Moving out of it, so if you moved there or there, you'd be moving outside its range. Moving there, like all those spaces, just pivoting around a creature, you wouldn't take an AOP.
Okay. No, I'll just stay where I am.
Very well. Fair enough, because you're sort of in the position where if you moved away, you're going to take an AOP, but if you move towards it, it's just kind of like jumping into the poison swamp.
Yeah. I'm like,
So you're
I think I'm good.
rocking a hard place. Rocking a poison swamp. So, that brings us to the Nightmare Eel, which closest to Nightshade is going to attempt to bite you again. That was a that was a 4, so it's not going to hit you. So it kind of snaps at you with those jaws of its, and you just manage to kind of dance quickly out of the way, still up on your sort of slightly raised platform before it can bite down hard on your leg. So that's all it's going to do that turn, and that brings us to Clover.
Okay. So he is a little bit closer. I'm actually wrong window. I'm actually going to move, so I could actually take. I'm gonna move right here, and I want to do a melee attack. I'll use my quarterstaff.
You will need to get slightly closer to do that.
Oh.
It does have a 5 foot range.
And I can't like step on here, right?
It would be going down into the swamp.
Gotcha.
The square that Nightshade's on and the square that you're on are good, but that one's sort of a little less than half, so I'm gonna say that one's swamp.
Gotcha. Okay. Scratch that then.
Again, I think most of your stuff, any of your melee stuff, will be 5 feet. So just any square next to you, right?
Okay. Can I be on the same square as Nightshade?
No.
Okay.
Unless you were a very,
Then-
very tiny creature.
yeah.
Or if Nightshade was like carrying you or something like that. But again, that's not exactly practical for combat purposes.
Yeah, this is true. Then I'm going to do. Let's see. I'll move back where I was, and I'm going to heal my party again.
I don't know if any of them really need it. I can tell you.
Oh. Do y'all need any healing at all, or? are y'all
No,
good?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna get into the sludge.
Yeah, you can also just not do anything if you feel like they got it.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. Sorry, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not doing anything. In fact, there's a bunch of stuff that there's specifically a thing designed for when you don't know what to do. It uses your action, but it's basically the dodge action, and it just gives any enemy that attacks you until your start of your next turn disadvantage on the attack roll.
Oh, okay, bet.
So if you're like, I don't know what to do, or if you're like, I'm surrounded by enemies and I need someone to come save me, then dodge actions are pretty good.
Nice.
So you just you know you're not going to attack. Attacking might not be the most worthwhile option. So just choosing to dodge is pretty useful. You're just bracing yourself for attack. Things like monks and
Perfect.
stuff can use their key points to do it like for free and stuff like that, and then still be able to do other stuff. But for you, it's an action similar to disengage, right? Disengage would be if you were right up close, like where Nightshade is, and you wanted to run away rather than attack. You could use your action to disengage and run without taking an eye out.
Gotcha.
Just all different
Yeah.
things you can remember. That cheat sheet that I gave you guys, if you still have it, it lists all the things I'm talking about if you need to reread them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But
Yeah, so
there's nothing wrong with doing nothing if you're like, you know what, my party members have this. I don't want to take any damage. I'll just let them do it.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, that's my turn.
Very well. And that brings us to Duja. This creature's looking pretty battered and bloody from multiple axe slashes, as well as a bunch of bruises and burns from Eldritch bolts.
Okay, I'm going to come up right behind it and bring out. Oh wait, actually, I was gonna bring out the great axe again, but I
Well,
realized two-hand.
You could
I'll-
just toss the chest down into the sludge. That is an option.
Okay,
That would be free to do. Just let go of it.
okay, I didn't want to get it dirty.
I
Okay,
I
DJ
understand
will
that.
put
Yeah.
it, put it down, and
I would allow actually to be fair. To suggest something for you, just because again you guys are just getting used to D&D and stuff. To be fair, I would allow you to toss the chest up to 5 feet.
Let's see.
So like, let's say you went right there next to Nightshade, I would let you toss it 5 feet onto that
Okay.
flat surface. That'd be fair game. I would have no issue with that.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Since you're pretty strong and it's just it's not a particularly heavy chest, and you're not throwing it too far, I'd say that's reasonable enough to just kind of heave it over just a couple feet.
I'll come over here, and as Chibi says, yeet it over to here. Wait, here-ish? Here?
Yeah, you just kind
and
of heave it down onto the dirt.
I'll bring out my great axe as a little bit of a revenge.
All right.
Let's see. 9 to hit.
Well, I was gonna say before you roll, I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay.
don't forget that you have your reckless attack,
Oh, wait, let's see, where's that?
because it's been a while since you guys have leveled up to level 2. Just like I was reminding Nightshade about the invocations, you do also have your reckless attack, which is basically first attack on your turn. You can choose to recklessly attack and gain advantage onto hit rolls.
Where can I find that?
It's in your features and traits.
Oh, features and traits. I see. Okay.
If you're ever looking for something that like your class can do or like your subclass, it'll probably be in there.
Okay. All right. Reckless
So-
attack.
Again, you're probably also saving your rages, but don't forget that you have them, just in case.
Yeah, I was thinking to save it for a big boy,
Fair
but
enough.
this
Yeah.
guy has been chewing me, so I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, I think what a lot of barbs do is barbarians they always save one for that encounter that turns really bad, or like a boss fight or something, right? They always save the
Mhm.
one, but you do have two of them, right?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try out this reckless attack.
Yeah, for now, I'm not saying you should rage right now. It'd be kind of a bad idea to rage right now when you're already like 90% through the fight and stuff like that, right?
It's like it advantage.
Yeah, so reckless gives you advantage, but it also means that enemies get advantage on you.
Okay. And then I will just roll my great axe with advantage then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to remind you that exists. It's for when you absolutely need to hit something and you really want to give yourself the best chance, then you would give yourself advantage, but of course you risk taking more attacks. Ooh. That was a dirty 20. So no crit, but you do hit with the 20, so roll your damage.
Nice.
Alrighty, 10 damage. Then as you toss the chest down, you quickly pull out your great axe and just sort of in one motion pull it off your back and just bring it right down on top of the head of this Nightmare Eel. And you just kind of sink it really deep in. You hear this kind of crunch as it lodges deep into its head. And you see it kind of shudder and then just fall down into the swamp and just start to kind of float there. It twitches for a couple more seconds and then falls still.
Duja just kind of cracks her neck and yeah, gets back up onto the platform near the chest.
I take one of her boots and I like give it to her.
Oh, thank you. She takes out the handkerchief that the butterfly wings are wrapped in and then uses it to clean her feet. And
Fair enough.
it's the butterfly wings back in there all dirtied up.
All right. So you take some time to kind of clean yourself off a little bit. And now, with the eel defeated, your hand axe is still lodged into it, but because it lodged into the eel and didn't just go flying off into the swamp, you're able to kind of grab it back out again. So don't worry about that.
All right, thank goodness. So Deja, she opens up the chest to show everybody, and she notes that okay, so in the chest there is obviously some gold. There's a bottle with this murky liquid, if you guys want to inspect it closer to the light, as well as a locket. And I put the skeleton skull in here. I hope you guys don't mind. I thought maybe we could bring him out of this place.
Yes, there is a skull in there too. So you take a quick moment to count the gold. There's 25 gold pieces in there. But I don't really care how you split them up, or if one of you just wants to take all the gold. Doesn't matter to me. So you guys decide. Yes, there is a small kind of glass bottle with a murky liquid in it, and again that locket. So what do you want to look at?
Anyone have a preference on where we start? I'm sort of curious about the liquid, but also the locket intrigues me.
Yeah.
Let's start with the liquid. I think the locket might lead us somewhere, so we should get it out the way first.
All right. So you take a look at the bottle. It's not labeled. There's no like paper label wrapped around it, and so there's no way to determine exactly what it is. But I would say out of the three of you, the one most likely to be able to determine what it is would be Clover. So you can make a medicine check to determine what it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was gonna say I'll have you beat a 14, so that is insufficient.
Merp. This is a liquid.
But I'll say with a 12, since you got close but didn't beat it, you don't know what it is, but you determined that it isn't a poison. At the very least, you determined that it is probably safe for consumption. At the very least.
So this doesn't look like the stuff that would probably harm you, kill you. But I don't know what it is. Shouldn't hurt you though, but
Maybe when we're back outside, I can give it a whiff. Not that I would know what it is, but maybe it might help.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the lighting in here.
Yeah,
It's the fluorescent.
torchlight makes it so much harder to identify things.
Alright. Duja brings out the locket and let it dangle by the chain. Anybody
Yeah,
want to
it's,
take a look at this one?
It's a small silver metal. Again, you're not certain that it is actually silver, but it is sort of silver in color. And it is round. It's not a heart-shaped locket. It's just a round shape. And it does indeed have a small little hinge where one could open it.
Should we open it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright. She
So
opens it.
it's got a little bit of grime and just a slight bit of rust on it that makes it kind of a little bit harder to open, but you're able to pry it open without too much trouble and without breaking it. And inside, there's no picture, no painting. There's just an inscription into the metal that appears to be perhaps maybe not professional, Duja. You've seen jewelry and stuff, and you estimate that this is probably the inscription itself was probably not done by a professional. It's sort of scratched in, if you will, and it reads Celeste, and that's all.
Celeste. So it seems like somebody scratched this in here. Celeste. We haven't met anybody by that name, have we?
You rack your memory. You have not. Just for the sake of you, it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm like,
No, I don't believe we have. Did you bring that skull with you?
Oh, yes. I thought, we could he died in here. It's pretty smelly. Maybe we could bring the old fella back outside and give
Maybe.
the head at least a proper burial.
I will say, now that I think about it, now that you're all kind of examining it together and Duja's not just taking a cursory look at it, one of you can make an animal handling if you want to know closer to what animal it might be.
Oh.
Since we don't get nearly enough animal handling checks in D&D. So we'll do one of those instead of medicine.
I
All
think
right.
you have the highest.
With a 12, you don't know exactly what animal it is, Clover, but you do feel certain with the combination of perhaps Nightshade's expertise and your kind of experience with medicine. It is certainly not a rabbit, at the very least.
so guys, this right here is an animal, but it's not a rabbit.
So it can't be our Jasper. Well, that's
Nope.
a relief.
I'd be surprised if his body decomposed so much in a week.
Definitely a different animal though, for sure.
I guess Duja can put, let's see. I can put that in my backpack, the skull.
Yeah, it would fit.
Okay. Duja will add the skull to her backpack.
I want to say on this channel, this is the second barbarian that has started collecting bones. Might be a barbarian thing.
It's a gremlin thing.
The spirit of Martos would be proud. Yeah, so you tuck the skull away. Whoever can hold on to the other items too. There's the bottle, the gold, and the locket. So I honestly, it doesn't really matter to me who holds on to things. You guys are usually traveling as a party, so I don't really care granularly who holds things.
I could do the gold. How much was it again?
25 gold pieces.
25. Okay, I'll just add that to my.
And I'll take the rest.
Very well. You guys can add items on your own to your item lists. I think Duja already figured out with the Morpho wings. But if you can't figure it out, just let me know and I'll add them for you. So you can just type in
Whoever's like, "I'll
a
take the
general.
money."
The money is actually easy to add. It's just in your inventory on the little gold thing on the right? But as for the bottle and the locket, you can just add generic things and rename them to locket and small bottle and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just to help you remember what things are. And I often go through and check your inventories just to I'll maybe add a little descriptor to something and things like that. So if you forget to do it, I'll try and do it for you. But yeah, so you tuck away the things that you found. And now you have the empty chest. I'm not sure what you want to do with that.
I was planning to leave it here. Unless do you guys want to take the chest? Or should we just leave it behind?
There's other things in the chest, or is it empty?
It's empty now.
How big is it?
I would say it's a little big. It's well, in comparison, it is this chest. So it'd probably take up. It might barely fit into a backpack, but it would take up almost all of the room in the backpack.
Nah, I'm good. Let's just leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it.
We need it, we can come back. I doubt there's any so big we want to put.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can leave it behind. It's no big deal. I just was kind of curious as to whether or not you wanted it. But yeah, so you tuck away your things and nursing maybe a couple minor injuries, but feeling a little more confident now that you've defeated that Nightmare Eel. You are free to go where you wish. You tell me.
Sorry, I just hit my knee on my desk.
It's all good. I do that all the time. Don't worry.
I don't know if you heard that big old bang.
Yeah, we did.
Love that for me.
Well, I guess we should probably start backtracking.
Yeah, seems like there's nowhere else to go.
There's somewhere we can go.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, the other platform on the other side.
I don't think I saw one over there. I don't know what you guys.
What are you talking about? Clover, you have such good eyes. I'm sure that your eyes wouldn't deceive us, right? There has to be that platform.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess DJ she kind of squints a little bit. Oh, I see it now. That platform, of course.
Yeah, silly.
Yeah.
How did you not see it before?
It's right here.
These Loxodon eyes, man. Just sometimes, yeah. They miss things, I suppose.
Good noses, bad eyes. Could you smell the platform?
Smell the smelly smell.
So you guys kind of edge your way over towards the other side of the platform that you crawled up onto, and there are indeed a few more of those flowers that sit kind of against. They're sort of partially up, growing from one of the stems that's kind of burst its way through the dirt and rock of the wall. And so there's a few more maybe flower platforms that you could hop your way to make it to the far side of the cavern.
I want to go ahead and hop.
Oh yeah. I just completely forgot because we got doing other things. Is one of you still like tied up with the rope, or did you take that off?
Oh.
I think I'm still tied.
You just like walked around on a leash the entire time.
Yep, it's my leash.
I don't think it wouldn't have really interfered with much because you kind of just hung out up
I
on that
stayed in my
platform.
place.
So I don't think it really changed much that we forgot about it, but I just thought it was funny that all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, you are still roped up.
Maybe you could tie it in your belt.
Before I jump, I like just nonchalantly hand it to Nightshade. I'm like, okay, bye.
Okay. I have a rope now.
And it's connected to me.
What am I? Your dog owner or something?
Well, you're my protector right now in case I fall.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Alrighty. And I'm gonna go boop over here.
Yeah, you hop your way across the flowers. You're kind of used to the way that they bob under the weight of a person. And so you hop your way across. They're not too difficult. And then on the second flower, it's just kind of a little short hop.
There you go.
And boop. Oh, kind of. Boop. There we go. And boop. Easy peasy.
Duji, you're used to it now by now, so I won't make you make a roll.
Okay.
You got this. Good job.
She's still very visibly nervous, but she hypes herself up before each jump. All right.
This one's a bigger one. You got it.
You can do it.
All you gotta do is jump up.
And
Yes.
Yay!
You did it.
You did it.
by
By the way, Clover, do I have to keep holding this rope?
Not if you don't want to. I bat my eyes at her.
I'll keep holding the rope.
Okay.
All right. So now that you've made it to the very far side of the cavern, another tunnel awaits you, stretching off into darkness beyond the torchlight.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Well, onwards.
To victory.
All right. Then you turn off towards the tunnel and make your way out into the darkness to find what awaits you. But I think that's where we'll call the session for today, because we're just kind of at 11 o'clock right now. It's a good time to end it before we get into something else.
That was a good one.
Yes.
That was a good session.
Yeah.
Sorry for like the huge break.
It's all good. It happens.
Yeah, you're
sometimes.
good.
They're worth it.
Real life
Oh my God.
interferes with things sometimes. We had a nice chat about Dark Souls mimics and how they eat you whole.
Nice.
So, to switch back over to our other screen. First things first, does anything interfere off the top of your heads with next week?
No, I do start my new job, but I get off at 6, so I should be okay coming home in time for this session.
Okay.
So, but if I know that I'm going to be like a little bit late, I'll just let you guys know in the Discord.
Okay.
But I shouldn't be. But yeah.
I don't know about the others, but if you ever are late, I'm usually okay with going a little bit later. So if you're ever like a half an hour late, we can still have the session. We'll just maybe push it a little later, or just do a shorter one. Even if you're an hour late and stuff like that, we can still just do shorter sessions. So don't sweat like having to cancel a whole session just because you're an hour late or so. We can still do the session. I'd still be happy to start at 9 and something like that. So yeah, so we'll pencil it in for next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, next Saturday, of course, and we'll do our next session.
Heck yeah.
All right.
I'm excited.
Sounds good.
We're going to go into the secret tunnel.
We'll continue to explore Hidden Hill Burrow. All right. So to do our wrap up, first things first, we'll wrap up with you guys so that if you need to run, you can. So from the left, our players for today for Dreamwalker, starting with Lolo. You can tell everybody what you do because you're a streamer as well, and where they can find you and all that. I'll type in your link.
Perfect. I am Lolo, and I am a VTuber, and I play mostly Dead by Daylight and Overwatch. Yeah, you could catch my streams. I don't really have a set schedule. I just stream when I can.
Sometimes it'd be
But
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the above. Okay,
Very
bye.
nice. And to the right of Lolo is Boomy.
Hello guys, my name is Mamana Bumi. I am the resident dumbass of 4B Live. I stream a variety of games. Right now I've been playing Minecraft and the Lego Star Wars game a little bit. I try and stream Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. And yeah, Mondays is like the chill stream where we just chat. So feel free to stop by this coming Monday if you want to get to know me better.
Very nice. And on the far right is Kat.
Hello, I'm Cat Planet Shine. I like to play a lot of different variety of games, a lot of JRPGs and whatnot. Yeah, I just like to hang out and play games and talk about the games and have a good time. So
Very nice.
you can find me on Twitch and Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah, the links are all there, so you can find all their stuff. Go follow them on Twitter. Go follow their Twitches. They're all amazing streamers, so go and watch them. And yeah, as for myself, if you're looking for schedule changes and stuff, if we're moving around times for streams or changing days and things like that, then you can follow me on Twitter. That's where I tweet about it. But you can also join our Discord if you want. It's not just for players. We got art and we got shitpost memes, and we got channels for all the different campaigns. If you want to talk about your theory as to what's going on, or discuss something that happened on one of the sessions, so feel free to join that. It's for everybody to join. It's not just for players. We also have an archive. If you miss a session or want to go back and get caught up, I upload all the VODs to YouTube so that you don't miss anything, because they do disappear off of Twitch after a little bit. So find it there, Grand Lorian on YouTube. The last thing is all the campaigns I run on this channel are in a living world. So they all exist within the same persistent world called Grand Lorian, of course. And if you want to find out more about factions, deities, places, and even some characters who all exist within this living world, you can check out our World Anvil. The link is there if you want to do some extracurricular reading, as I call it. If you want to do your homework and find out some of the weird things that we talk about on stream, you can get a bit of background information there. It's always expanding. And that's all I have to add for today. We'll do a rate. Actually, are any of you streaming like immediately after this? Of the three of you?
I will be.
Like how soon after? Like an hour from now, or like right now?
Probably like in a half an hour.
Okay. Because if like one of you was just gonna immediately go live, I would just be like, "We'll go live right now, and I'll raid you."
Unfortunately, I still need to eat. So
Fair enough. Okay. Then I don't want to like make you rush because I'm raiding your stream or anything like that. So all of you go watch Cat, and then we'll send you to someone else. But go watch Cat. Half an hour.
I'm playing Kirby, so
Oh.
Nice. Is it the new Kirby?
yeah.
How's that? Is it fun?
I haven't started it yet.
Oh, you haven't started
This will be the first stream.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
excited.
Well, yeah, go watch that then for sure. But we'll see if there's someone else who's live right now that we can read as well, just so that we have. There's two people that you can go watch. All right. Let me see. The list isn't long enough. I have a lot of people, so I have to see. let's do Kiana Cardinal, playing Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. Not bad. We'll do that. All right. So thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good time and have a good night. Don't forget in half an hour to go watch Cat Planet Shine play some Kirby, and go follow all their channels and their Twitters so that you can be updated on all that. But for now, we'll do a raid for Kiana Cardinal, who is playing some Dragon Quest. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.